So we leveled up last time, and so we're all gonna go around and share the fun. Well, this is for our listeners.
Oh
no, I'm keeping this in.
I'm editing gold. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've actually been recording since we got on at 8:30. It's all going on. People love this shit. So
on a different channel.
We reached level 5, and for bards, level 5 is all about that bardic inspiration. I got my bardic inspiration went up from a D6 to a D8. But what's more important is I get them back on a short rest, so I can be firing those puppies out all day long.
What she said.
Yep, that is what she said. I also got access to 3rd level spells.
I don't think that's what you want her to.
It's no. Moving on.
What's a highlight of a 3rd level spell? What are you most excited about?
Well, I can tell you what the spell is, but I kind of want to save it for when I use it because it's a fun spell.
So you want both the sharing now and the secret.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck you guys. I got Hypnotic Pattern. I guess it's actually relevant for me because I have to choose my spell and stick with it. So I picked up Hypnotic Pattern, which allows me to potentially incapacitate a number of creatures within a 30-foot cube starting within range. So within 120 feet, I can place a 30-foot cube, and everybody within it has to pass a wisdom saving throw or they are incapacitated. I don't think...
Don't hurt yourself.
No, they don't even get a saving throw afterwards. It's not like a thing where they get every turn. They get another try. It's a one and done.
Well, it's a non-damage dealing character. That's really good for you, yeah.
I feel like that's mocking. Well, everyone else is not allowed to do damage to them because as soon as they take damage, they wake up.
They're out of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I also changed one of my cantrips, but I'm going to save that as that is going to be more of a surprise.
I was just trying to look, guys.
I
changed it.
Saw you looking. I clicked it away as quick as I could. All right, that's me. You go next because you're sitting next to me.
Okay. I got Destroy Undead, which you already know. It's a CR half or lower, so that's really cool. I also got 3rd level spells, and one of my always prepared spells is Liamin's Tiny Hut.
No way!
Nice!
Always prepared.
That rocks.
We got the hut! Very nice.
So, that's all.
Good job.
Cool. Alright,
Okay,
let's just go down. Becca.
Yeah. I got an extra attack, so that's gonna be really fun.
So Trace?
Nice.
Yes.
3 attacks. Wow.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, if I choose to do that, it'll
2 with your action.
Correct.
Is how it is.
2 with my
down.
action, and I can. What I originally had was I could use my bonus action to attack. So I technically can do 3. So 2 is my action and 1 is my bonus action. But if I choose to, this can actually help me utilize more of my fighting spirit, which gives me advantage on attacks. But it takes a bonus action, so I can use my bonus action to give myself advantage on my 2 attacks, which I haven't really been able to use up till now because it's been useless. Because I would have only had 1 attack at advantage instead of 2 attacks at normal. So that'll be helpful and interesting. That's
cool.
Basically it. I mean, I got the proficiency boost, which contributes into my feat defensive duelist that I have. So instead of a +2 to my AC as a reaction, I can have a +3 to my my AC as a reaction. So that'll be nice. Yeah, that'll be a that'll be an 18 AC as a reaction if I need to use it, as opposed to just 15. Yeah, that's me.
Cool.
I'm gonna remove that extra weapon that I added there for testing. Just
Yeah,
so
I
you
was
know.
wondering about that. I was just like, I'll just let him deal with it. I figured you added that.
Testing things out. My bad.
No, you're good.
Ryan, you're the next on the list for me.
Uncanny Dodge is the one I got. Does half.
Don't forget
damage.
about it.
It's yeah, I know. I have to make a sticky
I
note.
did for the majority of our campaign.
Stephanie made a sticky note.
I was going to do
also
it.
a reaction notice.
Yeah, it's a reaction, so it's only once per round, right?
Right,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
it would make it so you couldn't make a attack of opportunity or something like that instead. So just a thing to consider.
Thank you. Yeah, and I have to be able to see the attack, apparently. I also get another, like, a +1 to my attack. I also get more sneak attack damage.
Woo!
Oh, you get another D6 in there?
Yeah, so it's 3d6 now.
Nice.
That reminds me, for the spellcasters also, notice cantrips go up at 5.
Yep.
As it
What?
wasn't mentioned.
If you were
Your cantrip
1d8,
damage.
now you're a 2d8.
Ooh.
Sorry
look at
about that.
Nice. That spiritual, what's it called?
That sacred flame up to
Sacred
2d8.
flame.
Spiritual flame.
Spiritual flame.
Spiritual. Mhm.
Spiritual fire. That's what it's called, right?
And Cassie.
Same as Myetharia, I can now attack twice with my action. So if I use my bonus action to attack and I use Flurry of Blows, I can hit 4 times. Which is pretty cool.
Oh,
So much
Um,
punchies.
And then the living weapon has another aspect to it. If I take fire damage, I can use my reaction to cause the weapon to erupt in flames. They shed bright light in a 40-foot radius, dim light in 40 feet. And then it's a blaze. It deals extra 1d6 fire damage when I hit.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That living weapon.
I think that's it. Oh, and I chose a 2nd level spell, Mirror Image.
Ooh, good choice.
Nice. That'll be handy.
Very good choice
That
for
I
you.
think.
Cool.
Very nice. Yeah, level 5 is a big level for everybody. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well, I will then
Shall I
realize
recap?
that I haven't been playing any music. And
I've been turning it up to see if it's been broken again. I wasn't gonna be like Ryan and be like, music.
Just like my
I
animal
forgot-
handling,
I
I
forgot
expect
about it.
undead creatures now, please.
What'd you say?
Oh yeah.
Just like my proficiency in animal handling, I now expect undead creatures, please.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Large hordes of very small and weak undead,
yes,
please.
exactly.
All right. Well, let's get into the recap then.
Okay. Are you playing music, Justin?
Just read. Do your job.
Oh, there it is. I was just turned down way low. Okay. Waking in the morning, the protectors of the past began casting spells and hatching a plan to defeat indomitability. As Bryn flew the rock over the prone form of the fiery stag, Winry dove into the boiling water. Retrieving the sword, it bonded with her and became a living weapon for her attacks. Now freed, Indomitability charged the shore, killing as many Seela as he could, attempting to stop the song. Before the protectors could respond, there was a flash of arcane light. Joining the fray and murdering Seela was none other than the bearded devil that hunted the party. Seeing the tide turning against the villagers, the protectors convinced Popovin and the singers to allow Indomitability to go. Convinced. With some convincing and some straight up attacks, I included it there. Popovin agreed, and Indomitability disappeared, promising to see the party again sometime. With Indomitability gone, Vol spoke up and thanked everyone for releasing his brother. Suddenly, his form shifted from a Seela into a tentacled, writhing mass, who then similarly disappeared. The threat to the Seela now gone, the protectors focused their fire onto the devil. With great teamwork and Winry's new magically imbued attacks, the devil finally fell. With Indomitability dealt with and the devil subdued, the Seela breathed their first unlabored breath in years, and cheers rang out for the victory of the protectors of the past. That's
In
it.
the aftermath of that great combat, and after a brief interlude and resting period in order to kind of celebrate and take the moments to inquire with Popovin and Tiljan, especially about the future of the Sela. The party has left with Tiljan in tow upon their bird, which is nearing the end of its 24 hours, heading back to the Elven village, and specifically under the shrine, where they are currently in discussions with Daishan and planning and figuring out the rest of their plan for moving on.
Oh. I didn't know that's where we were.
You guys hadn't officially done anything after that, and so I had kind of prompted a couple of times with, do you want to do this or not? And then nothing's really come up. So,
jeez, I don't even remember that.
So we have Daishan, right? We were in the fountain. You guys buried.
Jack and Winry were burying. Yep.
Have you talked about Burishava already? Being a Deva spirit.
Burishava,
not necessarily Burishava.
Maybe.
There was one that appeared.
But yeah, there was a...
I assumed that considering you had buried Burishava, said some nice words, and then the Deva appeared, that was Burishava's spirit, but hey, might not be. So the spirit appeared, said, bring justice for what has happened here, and that was where I thought we left it off.
Just about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to include that stuff.
Good.
That's all good. Yeah, so now I think we should just try and find where we left Torrent and Kristen.
Leave the forest.
Yeah.
Well, did we have a conversation with Daishan?
He was sleeping. He was
sleeping.
Down.
That's right.
He is exhausted and basically unable to move.
He wanted to stay asleep, so we just have to kind of let him sleep.
Yeah, I say,
we should have Winry carry him.
That's going to take. This is the. I say we should carry him. We should put him on top of the rock and just fly out of here. I know that's kind of. That's pushing it with the weight. I know. Because then we'd have.
You'd have to do it in 2 waves.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the rock.
Which I think we can do because isn't it only like 8 miles out of the forest?
Yep. So it'd be
7 or 8.
Yeah.
16, 32.
We are driving this thing like a rented car with no mileage.
Into the ground.
You'd have like just enough time to make this trip back in, out again.
Yeah, this poor bird. He's and then he's going to disappear.
We're not going to have to deposit back.
And then ignominiously just disappear. Like we just kick his ass and then it's like, it's gone.
So if that's your plan, who's riding on it first?
We make it through all this, and then we're in the air when it goes. We all just fall to our deaths.
Yeah, how long do we have? Just someone knows like how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, Bryn would know.
We could just make it.
2 groups?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yep, out, in, and out.
Separate groups?
That's about as much time as you have.
Out, in, out. Okay.
All right, then let's do that.
I'll go with the first group, just so I can...
All right, and
I'll
then,
take Daishan with the first group.
Okay.
Yeah, Rayland will stay behind, and Winry staying with. Is it Jack? So Jack, Rayland, Winry staying behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bryn, Tiljan, Myetharia, and Daishan.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Sure. Takes the trip. I mostly had you do that so you can get used to having to do that sort of thing. In this case, it's an uneventful trip back and forth. The biggest thing that you notice when you're making this trip is that it's getting colder pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
And especially as you're getting outside of the formerly fire forest's range, winter is in full effect. As the rest of you have been toasty warm and, sloughing armor as much as you can, suddenly you go back out into the real world and it is like negative degrees basically, and blowing snow and everything that the world right now actually is starting to become. As you have to rebundle up and get those furs back on as much as you can. Fortunately, there hasn't been significant snowfall or snow drifting or anything like this, and so along the road, it's fairly easy to pick out the remains or the active campsite, which has Kristen and Torrent camping along the southern side of this forest.
Okay.
As they have had to set up a fire basically at this point to keep warm because they were using the forest, staying relatively near it. But it's no longer on fire anymore. And suddenly, it's starting to get cold for them too. As they see you swooping down, they are ecstatic, to be fair. They'd expected your success at this point because of the results of what had occurred to the forest. But nonetheless, they are pleased once more to be reunited with you. And they will...
I hope that they're not like disappointed by how few of us are showing up.
maybe at
Hopefully
first,
don't
for the first
misunderstand.
moment. But then they see the two additional passengers and they're like, oh, I understand what's happening now with the two additional passengers. And so they help you unload Daishan, get him down near the fire a little bit, let him rest for a little while.
To teleport all
and Myetharia, you can stay back as well with Tiljan as Bryn rides the rock, or the giant eagle.
What's its name? Have you given it a name at this point?
Why do you make me do this? I hate naming things.
Back into the forest for one last trip, picking back up Jack, Winry, and Rayland at the other end. And once more heading back out of the forest, landing with the campsite all together as your time with said giant eagle.
No, wait, the last thing, we fly out of the forest and Jack's so excited, he goes, Eagle!
Oh, sorry. Gosh. Thanks, JD.
What?
Just random thoughts.
Man, that was a lot more than a random thought. Do you want to say goodbye to that?
Yes.
Okay.
I give the eagle pets as we land and say thank you.
I'm suddenly a little disappointed that Jack's last name doesn't begin with a D, actually. Is what I was thinking for myself.
Is what? Sorry.
His last name.
What, Justin? One of his original last names was going to start with a D.
Oh, man.
That's a missed opportunity.
What does the bird say, or the bird do? When
the bird kind of coos and
says, you are welcome.
You talked this whole time.
Yes.
Kind of coos, rubs into her hand a little bit, and in a puff, Bryn, you find yourself holding instead a standard feather, giant eagle feather in your hand afterwards.
Aww.
I put it in my pack.
I'm gonna quick reach into my pack. Do I still have my rock feather? Or giant eagle feather?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Cool.
It'll hang around.
I like it.
As you guys are kind of getting together, unloading, getting prepared once more to venture out or figure things out a little bit further, Torrent approaches you on the side and says, you should know, Kristen had another vision while you were gone. Just this morning. It seemed different, though. Whereas before she was overwhelmed and weak during them, as I'm sure you remember when you first met her. This time she seemed in control. You might want to ask her about it.
That's good to know.
In the meantime...
do you want to talk to her?
Yeah, go up, Kristen. Kristen, you seem to be feeling much better.
I think so. I feel more in control now. I just feel better. I'm starting to trust myself again.
That's good. Torrent gave us a little preview of the vision that you had. Do you mind filling us in?
Tell you about that? I'm sorry. I know it's kind of embarrassing.
Oh.
I'm sure it's a burden and all, but
oh, at all.
Well,
just love to know more about it. Is all.
I saw I'm pretty sure that this is who it is. At least I saw this big flaming stag. Right. I'm pretty sure it's Indomitability. That's just how I felt when it was happening. And I saw him meeting with us again, sometime in the future. And another like him, he kind of looked like an octopus in black. But I knew his name. It was Deception.
Well, that
and
tracks.
I believe you'll meet with him again as well. And this is the part, I guess, that was the weird one. But you'll meet with him when the bones of his grandmother watch you and weep for their fate. Those were just kind of the words that I heard. I'm sorry. I know it's such a pain.
I know it's not a pain. I guess just more clarifying. I don't know how much you know about what your visions mean, but you say like the bones of their grandmother watch you and weep for their fate, like they're like her grandsons, or they're like our fate.
I don't know.
Her fate.
I
too.
wish I knew.
Yeah,
it
for her
could
fate.
be it could be any of those.
Right, but it's good to know.
Could you say it one more time,
information.
Justin? When the bones of his grandmother...
We'll meet them again as well, when the bones of his grandmother watch you and weep for their fate. I'm not sure if it's the bones or, deception and indomitability or like your fate. I don't know which, but one of them. I'm sure, probably.
Right. Well, we'll figure it out on the road, I'm sure, or it will come upon us suddenly.
I feel like I'm adding more confusion than helpful. I really apologize.
It's another piece in a puzzle, in a giant puzzle, darling. That's all it is. Not your fault. It's not your fault that the puzzle doesn't make sense yet.
Rayland, what are you gonna say?
You're muted.
No, it's just I didn't.
Oh, it looked like you were winding up to say something. Well, Kristen, if it makes you feel any better, you guys were out here when we engaged with Indomitability, and we met his brother, who was a writhing, tentacled mass. So, if anything, this confirms that you actually are tapping into something that's real, which means that these visions are very important and can really help us. So please see yourself as more the solution than the problem.
Thanks. I'm really just glad that I could be normal during it, I guess. I don't know. I just remember when we met, it was so overwhelming. I basically couldn't stand almost when it happened, and now, it's just like watching a screen.
Perhaps that is another side effect of you not being within your father's clutches any longer. Under his control.
That could be. But anyway, sorry, that's really all. I didn't know she was going to put me on the spot like that.
Well, I think she's as concerned for your safety and well-being as we are.
And information like that helps us protect us and you better in this journey that we're taking.
Thanks, guys.
Justin, are you aware
Chloe.
you would now have 4 NPCs that you are managing with this party?
I told Steph you're probably gonna have a maid show up out of nowhere and just teleport them out and be like, I can't take you guys, sorry.
No,
Ryan, are
I'm
you
tripping.
talking? I feel like you keep saying words, but we can't hear you. All right.
No,
You're just like on the edge of your seat of saying words.
I keep thinking about it, but the conversation is moving too fast for a good quip to go in there. No, it's not. It's not your guys' fault. It's all good.
And never.
That cider's slowing you down.
No, it's fine. You guys are actually having a really good conversation. I don't want to break up the flow.
Well, good news aside and all. What's our plan from here? We have about, at least according to the maps, we have about 20 miles of mountain pass to get through. Between here and the other side, into Dassen. And, well, he doesn't look up to traveling much. What are the thoughts?
Well, do we have one other giant eagle or two? I forget.
2.
Two
We
more.
have 2.
We could utilize them both for the time being. If we want to spend them both, that is.
How many miles do we have to sequin?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
If we went as the
We were
crow
talking.
flies, we'd be talking about maybe 350 miles. More along the path I expect to travel would be more like 450.
And we've got 140 in rock miles.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if we use 1 to go.
If we use 1, we have 70 miles.
I
But
don't
we
think
went-
that one rock is going to be able to support all of
Yeah.
us either.
Right. As I was about to say, is we'd have to use both of
We'd
them.
probably be fully loading both of them at this point with the party that we have.
I'd recommend taking
Yes.
Daishan up ahead with maybe a spearhead, small group that can stay hid.
I don't know how well
We'll
the
catch
rock
up.
is going to fly in this weather either. This is not the most friendly through a mountain pass. It's possible. I just wanted to put it out there.
What does the terrain look like now? In front of us?
So after the forest, there's a small section of clearing, which immediately starts to become craggy foothills.
Okay.
And these craggy foothills quickly turn into a mountain pass.
See.
So which side of the mountain are we on then?
You are currently in the middle of them.
Okay.
I see that.
I could show you a different map, but it's got other stuff on it. I don't really want to bring that up
Show.
right now.
no, we get it.
Um,
Well, listen, guys. Whenever
But
there's
we
a
can
mountain pass, there's also a mine that we can go through that's really close by. So,
Make sure you remember the password.
right.
Friendship.
And its friends just push the door open. There's a lot of stuff on this map, buddy, that we can see clearly.
Oh, can it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. That's fine.
I the tab again. Has anybody else noticed, or is it just me, that if you zoom out all the way on the map, it actually kind of looks like...
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't just
Like
me.
what?
You can often see through the fog of war if you zoom out all the way. It like becomes
Well-
streaks and stuff.
No,
Oh.
the shape of the map. I think you're thinking of something else. No, the shape of the map, like the bottom half. The bottom half at least looks kind of like America. The U.S.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see it with
I kinda see it.
Florida and
Yeah.
Baja down there.
Sorry. Come back to
All
the
right.
story.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I thought it looked like a poopy.
Oh yeah, they didn't turn on dynamic lighting. They had the party token giving off light.
Right.
Didn't
Well,
actually
I-
have dynamic
yeah.
lighting on.
Oh,
Oh.
Annoyingly.
Well, I guess if we're not convinced that the rocks can fly in this, and if we
Yeah, maybe
let's just start walking and see if things change.
see if we can get out of the mountains and maybe to more sort of clear for the rocks to make whatever ground we lose, the rocks will make up and clear open land.
Or maybe we do Rayland's idea, send Daishan and Kristen and Torrent ahead, and then the rest of us make our way.
don't like splitting them off from us, especially with how important Daishan is right now.
Torrent kind of knows the way too.
Yes,
probably-
we'd need her.
We'd probably end up carrying Daishan, though.
We could make
it'd be slow going, but I believe that's our best option, not splitting them off from us, but carrying him if necessary.
Between Winry and I, we could probably carry him or maybe make a sled or something.
Mm.
Can you do that, Winry?
Out of like
Make a makeshift sled. Yeah.
Cloaks or something?
Well, there's plenty of wood behind us. Could find some dead wood.
Hey, Rayland, what are you doing with that stick?
What stick? It shouldn't be a stick. It should be like.
Okay.
Oh, it's a little tiny piece of wood?
Okay.
No, never mind then. I probably don't see it. It's probably in your pack.
Before we leave the edge of the woods, Myetharia will also kind of and not like grab a stick, but I don't know, like a piece of bark or something.
Well,
Memorable.
it isn't snowing. It isn't
Stuff in the
snowing
bag.
yet. But if it does start to snow and stays consistently snowing, a sled is not a bad idea. We could probably fasten some of these smaller limbs together, find 2 longer, bigger supports, kind of string them together, and you got yourself a sled.
Yes. It might be hard going uphill, but can make do.
I know somebody has rope.
but
Carry the sled between 2 people if necessary.
Yeah,
We
kind of
should
like a
start
stretcher.
making- Right. But we should start making some progress towards Sequin.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start going around collecting. I want to find, like I said, 2 larger pieces, about bigger pieces to be the supports on each side, and then I want to string sort of a network of branching sticks and twigs between the 2 supports. So that's what I want to go and find. Anybody gonna help me with that?
I can
I'm gonna
help you
tap
with
you on the
that. We might
shoulder
go
and
back
say-
in-
Thanks for doing this and give you guidance.
this is going to take a while. More than needing
Yeah.
to do any skill checks here, this is going to be time consuming.
Say I can help you because, as I said, I went back into the woods anyways. So
I was going to say, you'd probably have to utilize the woods themselves as well, not just scraps of stuff that are around things like this.
Yeah, so I'll have to probably chop a couple things, some stuff down.
I just got rid of Gil. We could have had 6 Gils working on this all at the same time and wrapped it up in 10 minutes. And I just got rid of it.
no, because you need 10 minutes
Son
to
of a
turn
bitch.
each gill. So I mean,
So why
Right.
don't you, Rayland, and whoever is helping as well, go ahead
Oh,
and
Rayland.
roll a
Oh, sorry,
survival check, all of you.
Go for it.
We're going to do this as a group.
battle.
As a group, so go ahead and roll on.
Oh,
Wait, everyone's rolling? Because we're all helping out?
balls! That was
Sounds
going to be
like
an
it.
18. That was going to be an 18, and it flipped over to a 2 at the last second. So that's a 3 for me.
I'll roll Winry's for her using the app.
Oh,
Winry
dang.
crits. You're welcome, Cassie.
16.
19. Or will the natural 8?
16,
Natural
19,
18.
21,
10.
3 for Myetharia.
Yeah, she's too distracted looking at the woods and thinking about the past few
And a
days of us
10.
trying to get through the forest.
She's like
Fencing.
pensive, like thoughtfully, like touching the wood and thinking about her pain.
Gazing off at a distance.
She's sitting down and writing some poetry really quick.
Sure,
Well-
'cause that's what she does.
All collectively, good news, everyone. We rolled a total of 69, so nice work.
Nice.
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 And it will spend. You guys will spend a little bit over the next hour then in collecting and then starting to assemble this. There's a better word than stretcher. I
Yeah,
know that there's
it's
a better
a
word
word.
than stretcher.
I was thinking of it
It's
too.
a sled.
No, there's a word for
There's
it.
a
It's where you,
specific
like,
word for this, but
It's not like a
anyway.
gurney. It's like a.
No, it's like a hobble or something.
You're muted, but yeah, it's like
Just
they
like
talk
a
about it in
Wheel
real
of
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys pulling out Wheel of Time to
No.
find it?
What do you mean? Just like,
It's what's his face carried his dad on.
yeah.
What's that called? It's not called a sled. It's got
A litter. A litter.
Litter. That's it.
A litter.
See, I
That's
always
good.
view
Tell me what you
like-
wait. Tell me the terms that you Googled to find that.
I searched for medical sled name.
Okay,
Whenever
so
I think of a litter, I think of like servants carrying like someone,
Oh.
but I know that's like a.
That's a palanquin.
Palanquin.
I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, that's also true. I see what you mean then.
Those
So,
are mixing in Stormlight Archives.
Also true. Over the next then 60, maybe 90 minutes in total, you guys find a couple of nice solid pieces of log that Jack and Bryn are able to source well. Rayland and Myetharia spend the rest of their time coming up with a bunch of intertwining smaller sections and some kind of thinner branches and things like this that are more wrapping. And along with some rope, Winry spends her time assembling all of this with her natural 20 that I rolled for her. Congratulations, you're wonderful.
Go me.
And assembles this into a pretty functional litter that you can use to work to carry Daishan with. And you can either do it with 2 people or with 1 in order to kind of drag it behind someone and attach him to it, or pick up the other side when it gets a little bit rougher in order for you to carry it as a 2-person job instead.
I was gonna say I'll put my bedroll on top of it as well, so he's not just laying on sticks.
Sure. I was more imagining that they were like, it's a good
Right,
term
like-
for these,
like
the
pine
young,
boughs.
young saplings, kind of,
Yeah, branches.
where they're more
And you're
pliable, and you're able to like wrap them around the 2 larger chunks on each side to make a little bit more
pliable
of a
branches
gurney.
from a recently burning forest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you got a little bit of
Shut
stretch outside of the forest that you can use
imagination.
to source some
Yeah.
stuff as well.
It's Justin hurting your immersion.
It works.
And at this
Really
point, you
well.
guys can get started and start moving again.
Walk.
I would offer to help carry him, but I don't think I.
I
probably
think
should.
Winry and
I think that you guys will probably take
pull it.
shifts a little bit, because one person pulling a litter for the next 6 hours is going to get awful real
Can me
fast.
and Rayland take a shift?
Together.
We go nowhere.
Hey, I have low strength
we go,
too. Come
we
on.
go backwards.
Well,
Can I take a shift riding it?
you all leave
that
the
way.
scorched and
Move.
rapidly cooling forest to face a winter that seems fiercer than before. The only road that leads south has been untouched for 40 years and is in major disrepair. At first, the travel is easy, but the full fury of winter poses great danger within the 2-range pass, where the Het Khan and Tundra mountains meet. Ice has broken great chunks of rock that now lay across the road, and fissures 20 feet wide reveal craggy ledges that split and crumble at the lightest pressure. Plus, a constant icy wind races northward like smoke through a chimney. As you pass along, a couple of hours into your trip, we're getting a little after, like early afternoon kind of time, kind of 2 o'clock maybe. You come across what is a resolute stone watchtower that stands among the mountain pass, the top of which should have a great view of the upcoming travel up and down the ridges. As you approach or get relatively near it, you can note, even from a distance, that there is a what seems to be functional door still on it, though the tower is currently clearly disused. It, similar to the road, looks like it hasn't really seen any use in any real recent history.
Does it look
Winry-
sturdy?
Winry and
Or
Rayland,
like
do
it's
you
gonna
want to?
fall over?
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
At least
While they're
pause for the
looking at it, I'll
afternoon.
say, Winry and Rayland, do you guys want to like clamber up to the top there and get a look?
maybe we can
Hold on.
see either what's
I'll wait.
coming or if there's
I'll wait
nothing.
until after
20
Winry.
total.
Okay. Even from a distance, you can tell that the
Don't let
stonework
Winry go first.
looks pretty solid. Even though it looks in non-use, it doesn't look like it's in non-use because it's unsafe. It looks like it's just similar to the road. It doesn't go anywhere anymore. You can imagine that this road probably used to have travel at one point in time, but for the past 40 years, it's gone into the middle of a fire forest with no real way around it, and suddenly nobody wants to go that way.
Maybe
It wasn't that bad. I don't know why people feel that.
Maybe we can see if there's like another good place to camp coming up, and if it doesn't seem like it, maybe we could. I know it's early, but camp here tonight because it'll block some of the wind and snow and stuff.
It's true.
Not a bad idea. But first, we should check this place out. Winry, do you
Yes.
want to do the honors?
I would. I will open the door.
No, before she does it, I go,
Mhm.
Winry, you get a chance to take the lead. You can do it. I'm gonna give her a bardic inspiration.
You come up to the tower then, and as you approach, you notice that while the door has no obvious lock, it is soundly sealed.
Oh. I'll try to pick it.
A quick investigation determines that while the lock is arcane in nature, it does have mechanical components that go along with it as well. So if you would like to, you can make a thieves' tool check in order to attempt to pick the lock.
I'll come up
I'll
behind her and
follow.
say, "I've seen you do this before. You can do it," and give her guidance.
Holy shit. Just
All
loading
the
up.
things.
Gotta use it. It's a
We're like,
cantrip.
we
man.
want Rayland to be
It is,
irrelevant
it
in this party. You do it, Winry.
Everybody's
Tactics
nice
to
and
the
close, so
test.
now when it explodes, it's going to hit everyone. Got it.
What am I
Stay
rolling?
back.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check. And if you are proficient in thieves' tools, you can add your proficiency bonus.
I don't think she's proficient, but she has thieves' tools.
I think that that's right.
Oh. God.
Is Rayland just really desperately hoping that she bends a pin or something? He's got to step in to save the day.
12.
Oh
You have a
no!
bardic inspiration and a guidance if you would like
Yeah,
to.
so that's a D4.
It's a D8 for bardic inspiration.
Z8. Goodness.
D8.
Mine's a
So
D4.
many.
Mine lasts a minute.
I don't even know which one that is. +2.
2
With
pyramids
the 8 or
touching
the
butts.
4?
That was the 8. 4. 2.
So 16.
Yep.
Okay. When you go up, you try to start picking at it and try to follow all that Rayland has done in the past, and you know that you've watched over his shoulder plenty of times. It seems like at this point, and you start working at it, but you are unable to figure out the right way to get through this lock, as it stands
I'm like
resolute.
sweating a little bit. Rayland, I can't figure it out. Can you help me?
He's just like watching from the side. You can feel his eyes on you the whole time. Even if he's not like intimidating about it, you can just feel that he's there.
Can we see you sweating? Like, how does that? You just have like rivers of
I
sweat.
don't
Like,
know. I guess
You're just
that's-
like wiping her face all the time and stuff.
animals don't sweat, but people sweat, so I don't know.
See
You
that
can
we're
make your own choice there, as far as I'm concerned.
Ooh, Tabaxi sweat.
I'll walk up and I'll kind of look it over.
Sure. Like I said, it's a arcane lock that seems to also have physical portions to it as well that are involved in the arcane invocations.
I'm again going to say, I know there's magic in there, but you can do it, Rayland, and give Rayland guidance.
Fuck, I'll say, yeah, you can do it, Rayland. I believe in you. Bardic
To be
inspiration.
outdone. Not to be outdone.
I get him back on a short rest. I'm going to be giving these things out like candy on Halloween.
Oh my god.
All right.
All right.
Let's see.
Don't fuck it up.
Oh,
He
Dang.
didn't.
27.
That
Ooh.
sleight of hand is the
Oh.
same for you as dexterity plus proficiency, right? Just want
I
to make sure.
believe so. Because it's proficiency or expertise and proficiency adds 2, right? And
It adds your
expertise will add your proficiency twice. So
how does
you are
that work,
not-
though?
You don't have expertise in Thief's Tools. It's different than Sleight of Hand. So it'd be a +6 instead of a +9 then.
so
Oh, okay.
minus 3. So
Okay.
24.
Yeah, so it's technically a dexterity check plus proficiency if you're proficient in Thieves' Tools. It
Alright,
isn't
well-
a Sleight of Hand.
So that's 24.
24. Yep. So you do have guidance if you would like, and you do have bardic inspiration if you'd like. I will just, before saying anything, allow you to make your choice.
Guidance only lasts.
I'm gonna roll that. I'm gonna actually roll that on my stealth check probably in a minute.
Okay. With the 24, Rayland, with a little bit of effort, similar to before, perhaps Winry kind of weakened things, got things into a good position for you. Pretty straightforward pick for you, as you are able to click the lock into place, which disables the arcane nature of the lock at the same time, and the door slowly creaks and swings inward. Outward. Totally outward. Definitely outward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Rayland.
That was amazing.
Thanks. I'll make my way in. Quietly.
The inside of the tower. Sure, go ahead and make a stealth check. The inside of the tower, similar to the outside, looks mostly just in. Wow. Looks mostly just in unuse.
You've been waiting for these stealth rolls.
Just bare and Spartan. The whole place looks like it probably hasn't been touched. It's got like a foot of dust everywhere. It's like no one's really been here in the last 30 years.
So I'm on the first level. I imagine the first level is. You said it was bare?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's only like a 10-foot in diameter, like circle, basically. It's just a very simplistic tower, and it goes up probably about 35 feet into the air.
I'll make my way to the ladder then.
As you kind of climb the ladder on the way up, at the top there is a hatch that opens pretty straightforward from the inside. It has a nice little barring lock that is able to slide and unlock it. And as you make it up to the top...
Are we waiting?
You guys can come in. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You pop open the latch at the top and climb up onto this very nice little balcony, basically, that would be used as a lookout tower from here. In the distance, if you kind of give a glance and a look around, you see that there's, coming up along the path, there was going to be a kind of dilapidated looking bridge that's going across, sorry, there's a bug, that's going across a wide fissure. And you can also notice that there's a couple of camps, it looks like, or tents, that are on the sides of that fissure. From this distance, you can't be sure what it is, but your intuition tells you from this distance, probably some sort of nasties that you probably wouldn't necessarily want to get in touch with, if you could avoid it at least. Further on, you can also see some kind of woodsy areas that might be more conducive to wildlife. But the other thing that you can notice while you're up here is that there is actually a very well hidden on the back secondary path that cuts around all of this through a little bit more canyon-y style on the side, and is able to bypass this dilapidated bridge and camp that's coming up and instead go around it if you would like instead.
Nice.
All right, I'll call Jack and everybody up. Myetharia as well.
I still tiptoe.
I'll point and I'll say there's a path. Bandits over there.
Exactly.
We might want to take that other way.
That's very astute, Rayland. I agree.
I'll go downstairs. Blah, I don't know if I said that in an accent. I'll go downstairs and I'll
Oh, don't. Sorry.
He clicked on a video and it was really loud.
I didn't know what it
we
was.
We didn't hear it. I'll go downstairs and tell Torrent to go upstairs, and I'll stay with Kristen and Daishan downstairs.
Okay.
I'll tell her that they're looking at an alternate route.
Sure. As she joins you up there, she says, well, I don't think that we would have noticed that if we hadn't come up here, to be honest. It's well hidden into the side here. It certainly wasn't on any maps that I saw.
Do you think it's safe?
It avoids the camp up there. Potentially problematic. It's hard to say for sure, but sometimes safety and discretion is the better choice.
All right.
I leave final choices up to you, but you've led us well to this point. I find it hard to take the reins back myself.
How far
We'll
does
take
the
them.
path lead away from the bandits or the tents?
So it's hard to tell because it goes into what almost looks like a canyon on the side, or I mean, not canyon's not quite the right word, but it's like a more tight pathway, and so it's hard to say for sure, but it splits off within a quarter mile of the camp, and then becomes hidden behind like a rock wall between them and the camp at that point in time.
Do you like that one Avatar episode that nobody likes?
Secret Tunnel?
Yeah.
That's the best episode. What are you talking
It's a
about?
great episode.
It's the best.
Who
There's
doesn't
another one
like that
nobody likes.
episode?
So
Is
good.
it the one where
What are
they
you
go?
talking about?
You missed them say
Avatar.
Avatar at the beginning.
Oh,
That was all out of character.
We're all just making this up as we go.
Remember that
Oh,
story
maybe
about
it's
that one
where
tunnel?
there's the
You think about it.
the Earthbenders, the two tribes that are fighting.
That's
Oh,
Secret
that
Tunnel.
one.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's the canyon.
Yeah, that can't.
Canyon.
canyon.
Yes.
You're right,
Yes,
you're right.
yes,
All right, all
yes,
right,
I do
all right.
remember that one. And yeah, that one's not
Good
like
point.
the best episode.
It's not great. It's not
The
great.
Great Divide.
There we
It's
go.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it was like a clever. I think it's like a clever ending, but yeah, it wasn't
All right,
the best
back on
episode.
track.
Okay,
Sorry, team.
Yeah, not the best.
so
No,
we're gonna
got
take
nothing on Secret Tunnel.
we're taking the pass.
The reason I'm wondering about its proximity to the encampment of the Nasties is whether we can make a camp while we're out there without them noticing us, and whether we should take Bryn's idea of sleeping here tonight and then going on so we can get completely past them before we need to set up a camp again.
I like that idea. Let's stay here, take a long rest, set off in the morning, first thing.
It's sheltered here. It's not the biggest, but I think that we can all cram in.
Winry, can we
Let's-
play a game?
Can plus we can relock the door and have a lookout from the top. Seems very defensible.
do you have any games, Jack?
No, that's your department. I play the music. You make the games. It's okay. To be perfectly honest, just a sleep and then maybe another sleep after that sounds great after what we just went through.
I know a game.
Well,
What?
You do?
oh man.
Anybody play Five Finger Fillet?
Can I play with my mage
No.
hand?
Myetharia's
Play like a
downstairs.
fish?
I'm not saying anything.
I don't think
I'll-
I've
I'll
heard
play
of that
Rayland.
one, Rayland.
I'll like whip out my dagger, like do like a little, like put my finger down on the table, or my hand down on the table.
This is Rayland's party trick.
When
up for it if you
when
are.
the room gets quiet, this is what
No.
he pulls out to entertain.
No. Am I the only one who's gonna? All right.
No, I'm gonna play with you, Rayland. Great game.
You guys
Really
still
Alright.
upstairs?
My fingers
started.
are very important, so I will not join.
All right, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
He's got that halfling one.
We're like a dexterity saving
He's
throw
got
at
it.
this
He's got it
point.
cocked and loaded.
Dexterity.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh,
Louise.
Uh,
These rolls in combat.
all of those bad stealth rolls are now coming out when we don't need them.
Oh my god.
He spends like the next 30 seconds just like around his
At one
fingers,
point, he
and-
looks up.
Yeah, in the middle of it, he's actually talking to Winry. It's just like, this
yes,
is how you do it. You
it's
just
like-
got to go back and forth between every finger on your hand. Just keep going.
Start taking time in your head. It's probably not unlike how Jack does with a whatever that whistle thing he got. Just like,
So disrespectful.
and then at some point I'm gonna like, do, and then like whip it around a little bit, and then like kind of hold it by the tip, catch it, like kind of spin it, catch it by the tip, and like hand the handle over to Winry.
Give it one throw into like the table on the other side so that the handle sticks up.
Oh,
towards
that's
her.
actually cool. That's cool. Like, yeah, I'll, like grab it by the tip and flick it,
Some Crocodile Dundee shit.
Well, Winry,
You definitely don't get that reference, Becca.
I did. Fuck on
You
it.
got this knife in front of you if you'd like.
I'm trying to picture what my hand looks like.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Like, are my fingers like?
Yeah.
Would they be
She'll,
like this?
she'll like hold up her like paws and be like, I don't think that's
do
gonna
this.
work for me.
I don't think I'm built like that, Rayland.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
Bryn
was
watched.
really impressive, though.
If
Okay.
you wait, so then let's think about the canon. That means you've been doing effective lock picks with paws.
I was imagining that she uses her fingernail for lockpicks,
Yeah.
to be completely honest.
I think with her, I mean, cats
You
are
can't now.
pretty freaking like good at manipulating whatever they want to in the
I
wild.
also feel like you have relatively humanoid-ish hands.
Yeah,
By
I
the
think.
way.
Oh, it looks so weird, though.
Oh, that does look really weird.
No, I'm not imagining hands. I'm imagining paws.
Furry fingers.
You want this instead, Cassie?
Well, also the
Use
more you,
Tabaxi
the more
hands?
you think about it, the more your like mind canon makes it a cat from the movie Cats, and you're
Oh,
like, now I
no,
hate
no.
Winry, and then you gotta just back up.
Didn't watch it, so don't have to worry
Release,
about that.
release the butthole
I mean,
cut.
I didn't either, but I mean, you couldn't
Release the
escape.
butthole.
You couldn't escape the art.
Anyway, I think it's much funnier though if like Winry like kind of like watches all this and then holds up her paws and is like, I don't know, and it's like,
I don't think that's possible.
okay, and I'll like take the knife back and like put it in the sheath, and then I'll like, all right,
It's such
and I'll
a
wander off.
Rayland
Oh,
game.
does Rayland seem disappointed though?
Rayland.
No, he's,
Or
he's
was
like,
he just trying to show off?
he like
No.
shrugs and like,
Does he seem disappointed though? Insight check. I don't know.
fine. Do an insight check because I'm actually I would love to answer this question because I don't know. I actually don't know. So you doing an insight check will force me to have to answer the question, which would be really
I
interesting.
rolled a 10. It's garbage.
All right, great. So I'm not going to have to answer that question.
It's hard to tell. Rayland's a difficult book to read.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bryn was just watching in amazement, and then when it got flicked to Winry, she was like,
Like the mom, don't do it. Don't do that. That's how you stab
Hey,
yourself.
I'm pretty quick.
Rayland, I'd be willing to try. Is your knife not that sharp though? Because it's very, very difficult to play instruments with one finger less. Also, it would probably hurt a lot.
Jack, I'm sure Bryn can fix you up.
Is that true, Bryn?
it wouldn't be instantaneous, but it'd eventually heal.
I really like my pinky too. Like when I'm playing my my banjo, it's very important.
The pinky is
But
the
I'm
most
I'm
important.
game.
Stabilizing finger.
I'm game, Rayland. If you're looking for a challenger,
Go, Jack.
I've got
You want-
sweat literally just like down
I'll
the side of the face.
I'll unsheath it from my belt again, like do the little and like
I hearing this
Looking at the
conversation
table
from
again.
downstairs.
I imagine that you guys are all together at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
you do this
I-
on like the floor.
I mean,
Okay,
just
okay.
you know, if you're sure about it, I'll figure.
I look over at Myetharia, like trying to be like,
Tell me not to.
tell me not to, please. But then she doesn't. If she's not gonna say anything,
Gauging all of the conversations that he and I have had in like the past week, she doesn't give him any answer with her face.
shit.
All right.
He's been
well,
all like, "Why are you telling me what to do? Stop!
Let
being
me
so
make my own
protective of me.
mistakes."
Yes, let me make my own mistakes." And so she's just like,
All right, Jack.
raises her eyebrows at him.
Make a dexterity check.
As Jack looks like as Jack takes the knife, Bryn just sort of like looks down in her bag and starts like pulling things out.
Counting the healer's kit charges.
Let me just pull this out.
Yeah, I
get it
got
ready for you.
Where's my sticker? I gotta
Word.
move it.
A word of advice, Jack. Clear your mind. Try not to think so much.
Okay. So I'll put my hand down. I'll hold the knife in my other hand, and then I'll go, "Oh shit, I'm the other-handed." Switch back this way, and then I'll.
Trying to figure
Going great.
Which hand feels better?
Oh my god.
Stab.
So
Well, if you're gonna do it, go ahead and make a
I
dexterity
will.
check.
I'll take a deep breath, and I'll let it out, and then I'll go into it. 9.
Oh, that's
What
not
if he
that
goes
bad.
really, really slowly?
Yeah, I'm just like,
Then he slowly
It
stabs
definitely
himself.
starts much
That's
slower
all.
than Rayland. That's for sure. And after about 3, you get halfway through the first hand, you're like on the way back kind of thing, and you clip kind of the side of your knuckle as the knife comes back across. I was expecting it to be worse than that, to be honest. And
Okay.
with that, you take 3 points of damage as you're effectively stabbing yourself with a dagger in the hand.
I want to
Sneak attack, don't worry.
I want to do something for fun.
You
Oh,
make
all
a
right.
con
I'm
save
making
to
a
see
con.
how you
Yes.
react.
Yes, and I rolled a 17.
Okay.
So it like
okay.
nicks my finger, and I'm like, "Let me keep going."
Okay, make another dexterity check.
Oh, I didn't mean like continue. I was gonna go until
Oh.
Rayland like gives me permission to be like, "That's enough," and then I was gonna stop instantly.
Well,
Oh shit!
Rayland-
Is Rayland not gonna say anything? I look up at Rayland like, "Is this enough?"
Are you okay?
Are you
Yeah,
Satisfied?
it's very
My
clear that he
performance?
has stabbed himself
Have
in
I
the hand,
made you happy?
as there is a
I'm
knife
gonna
wound
grab.
in
I'll
his hand.
I'll grab
Tears.
the knife,
His eyes are
and I'll
just,
be
his
like,
eyes are just pleading you to stop.
I'll be like, Jack, you're bleeding.
Oh, look
And
at
I'll-
that!
Take the knife and I'll put it into my teeth.
Did I win, or did you win?
You want a little bit of
I-
respect.
I think I won.
All right, well, good game. Let's play again sometime. Maybe not tonight though. I'm kind of tired.
I'll take his hand and wrap up his finger.
Yeah, you don't have to spend anything on it, but
No.
you take the next minute to like hold it tight, sort of thing. Just make sure it closes back up and stops bleeding.
I'm like, I'm gonna go out to scout really quick, and I go outside and just cry.
Grab some
it'll be-
snow, kind of pack it on there.
The finger's gonna be okay though, right? It's just like
Yes.
I can tell that he's not like chopped his. Okay.
Yeah, if he'd rolled
Severed
like
a
less than a
tendon.
5, I might have had him deal significantly more damage to himself. But outside of that, it was like a 5 total. Outside of that, there wasn't going to be any
Look at this polite pupper
significant
sitting
thing,
here.
right?
What? What are you doing? Okay.
Well, the rest
Alright.
of the evening passes. And one thing that I would like to solidify with you guys is, what does watch look like?
Don't we need to have at
Oh.
least 3 a night?
In general, I mean, you can decide who's taking. It's an 8 hours in total.
So I-
Who's going to be watching during those 8 hours?
I kind of assumed that the Myetharia and I would just trade off.
You
Because
could
then
do that
everyone
if you'd
else
like to.
can sleep.
Good.
If none of the rest of them wanted to assist or anything like this during the
nice,
time.
It's nice to have, as much sleep as you can get. So I wouldn't mind telling the others that they can sleep the full 8 hours, and Jack and I can trade off. I don't
Okay.
mind saying
I
that.
I want to take
only
one
need
so I
4.
can just watch the snow falling at nighttime.
You can watch
And
with
you
me,
can stay
Winry.
up just in general if you'd like to
Okay.
as
Which is-
well.
I was just about to say, Jack and I only need 4 hours, so probably overlap to some extent with you.
Well, you guys.
You guys both have dark vision. No, you don't.
It's 60 feet.
Elves have dark.
Elves
Yeah.
do.
Oh, it's Rayland.
Elves, 60 feet of dark vision, yep.
So in general, just so I have this in writing here, who's taking the first half?
I can
I'll.
take
Oh, she said
I'll
it.
stay up.
Okay. Cassie and I. Winry and I. Dang it.
Ooh,
That's
Cassie.
weird. I call
And Winry, you have dark
I
vision,
almost
right?
call Cassie Winry
Yes.
all the time in chat, and then there I go into the good opposite.
Then-
I just wanted to have that written down for when it undoubtedly becomes something in the future, that Myetharia takes the first 4 hours on a standard watch, and then Jack takes the next 4 hours. Anyone that would like to join them at any given time can. It's up to them.
Must announce.
But this is standard procedure.
Before I go to sleep, because Bryn's gonna take that sleep, we're gonna draw that over from real life. I'm gonna do, just because Myetharia and Winry are first tonight, I'm gonna give them Eyes of the Night so that they can see a range of 300 feet for dark vision, since they'll be up and looking around. And then I guess we're gonna start at the bottom with Vigilant Blessings. Winry's got Vigilant Blessing.
Okay. Well, the first half of the watch goes pretty uneventfully. The biggest things that you guys pay attention to during the night is the wildlife in the region. As you are up on top of the towers, you can hear in the distance the howling of wolves and the hunting packs of the neighboring regions as you are up on top of the tower for your watches. Nothing significant happens, however. You're just hearing them off in the distance as you start to get used to being out of the forest, especially such a weird forest that didn't really have a lot of moving wildlife and things like this, and back out into a more open wilderness terrain. Just getting back used to the world again.
Can you remind me how many days we were in the forest?
Just a couple, actually.
2, I think.
It felt like so much longer.
It was like 10 sessions.
I know.
So it's definitely a thing that your characters are getting back used to as well, as it turns out. The driving snow kind of builds up throughout the night, waxes and wanes here and there, and periodically you can catch sight of the blue moon throughout the clouds as it continues on throughout its path. It's still early on in its cycle in terms of its luminosity, but it is prevalent throughout the night. The second half of the watch, as Jack takes it up as well, passes similarly, and before too long you can start seeing the beginnings of illumination on the horizon of a dawn that is coming.
Just want to say that. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, before we go on, did you say Winry is staying up for the first half? Cassie?
Yeah.
As she's up there on the tower with me, I'll just say to her, "So, you're a guardian of an entire city now. How does that make you feel?"
Scared. Brave.
Brave. Scared and brave at the same time.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
I've had nearly 200 years to experience that, so I can't say I've never felt that way. And you got your wish.
Are you mad?
What? No. Of course not. Oh. At all. As soon as I had my doubts over whether I wanted to draw the sword. It felt like it was the right thing to do, given my connection to the forest and all.
But you are connected. Still. Right?
To indomitability at the very least, I still feel something of a connection, yes. Which, don't get me started on...
Weird, right?
Yes, that's just... I don't want to be connected to him to some extent. But I'm sure somewhere down the road it'll have its advantages.
Yeah, at least it's like a good thing.
Yes, which you wouldn't think a good thing could be connected to indomitability. How it is. Oh,
Yep.
But as soon as you told me about your past, it just felt like the right thing for you. Do it yourself. I don't feel angry at all.
Okay. Isn't this beautiful?
Oh, it's freezing cold.
No, it's wonderful.
No, I've never liked the
Just
winter.
like home in the mountains.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I'm gonna sleep so well tonight.
coming in from outside in the cold, next to the roaring fire and curling up.
Just bundle
Is
up
there
tighter.
is there a fireplace in this place?
Yes, there would be.
Oh.
I definitely light that up.
It would vent outside,
Oh,
theory,
I don't
but
like the
Not
idea
gonna
of
kill us all?
smoke signal. I don't like the idea of a smoke signal going up in the sky for all to see.
roll a con
Shoot.
save for carbon monoxide poisoning.
And that's where the party died.
TPK because of smoke.
Oh.
Why do we have to have the fire outside? Outside.
For what it's worth, in this direction, there would typically always have been smoke because of the fire
Oh,
forest.
that's true.
Good point.
Oh gosh, I'm scared for what the implications are for now that people won't be seeing smoke in the sky over the forest, so they'll know that it's out.
Well, with dawn coming, the rest of you can begin to travel once more. And
I just
it
want to
sounds
say
like
real quick that as soon as I take over watch, I just spend a few minutes just enjoying how blissfully quiet it is. That there's not
Without the
crackling
crackling
fires
flames.
Yeah, and the constant noise and the constant heat, like the chill is like a welcome sensation.
As you begin to move again, the next day, gathering everyone up, the night's rest seems to have done a real number for Daishan as well, as he is able to get to his feet and is able to start walking on his own. He is not fit enough to keep up with you guys quite yet, but each day's worth of travel does remove one level of exhaustion for him, and so he does have once more half speed and is able to be at a kind of relatively normal walking pace for you guys at least.
I was going to say we could keep carrying him for another day if you didn't mind.
If you wanted to spell him for rests and things like this during less strenuous sections or something like this, it's definitely a possibility that you guys can keep up with if you'd like.
His speed's only a little bit slower
Well-
than Rayland. We're okay.
Yeah, we'll keep
Rayland
this.
is mobile, thank you.
Rayland's
Oh,
super
yeah.
fast.
He does, yeah.
Probably more
Forgot.
mobile than you.
Probably
Yeah, what's your speed?
30.
Yeah, I'm more.
I forgot about that.
I'm more
What's your
mobile than
speed,
you.
bro?
He's like 40 or something.
I'm 35.
You have-
Please.
Bro, can you even run?
I'm 35. I can go.
So it sounded like the
Plus
plan.
10, yeah.
Sounded like the plan for you guys was to then take this hidden path, so to speak, through the canyon on the
Yes.
side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you start to head this way, since you're going off of the path, so to speak, I'd like everyone to make a survival check, please.
Oof. I didn't realize, but for like the past 15 minutes, I've just been clutching a d20 in my hand. So I guess I'm going to use this one.
Oh no. 7 for me.
It's
Oh,
survival.
no.
Okay.
Oh no,
Survival.
we're all biting it.
13.
9.
So I'm going to go from the top. Rob? Or Jack?
7.
Bryn?
5.
Myetharia?
13. Dang.
Rayland?
9.
And Winry?
13.
Oh no.
Yikes.
With
Oof.
a total of a 47 then between the 5 of you.
Did Torrent
Oof.
not roll?
I'm not going to have the NPCs help you guys. This is without them. You guys do make your way along this path along the outside, and while it does avoid the bridge that you saw and the camp that goes along with it, it also doesn't have as much of a path anymore, and so you're kind of following game trails and trying to avoid deeper drifts and things like this. And after the majority of the day's worth of travel throughout this area, you find yourself halfway lost.
Halfway lost. Okay.
You spend the rest of the day at that point finding your way back to the main path and realize that you haven't made it as far as you'd have liked to during this day, and you have just lost a number of hours of travel, basically.
Oh, that's discouraging.
So we're back where we started.
not back where you started. You did make some progress, but you did lose the majority of a day's worth of travel.
So we
Are
took
we past
the
the
path.
bridge?
You're probably past where the bridge was, and you kind of make your way back to the main section of the path by the end of the night, and you realize that you've probably, instead of making, even through the high pass and through the deep snows and things like this, you'd probably have made it between 10 and 15 miles normally. You ended up making more like 2 to 3 in terms of total progress. But
We really
you did
did
do it safely.
Yeah.
So that is the other side of the coin.
What time is it? The sun's
It
going
is
down.
getting towards sunset at this point as you make your way back towards the
Ouch.
main path.
Let's make our camp just a little bit
Yeah,
off the path
hey!
here.
I can make. I just learned this. I can make us kind of like a tent that'll kind of hide us and keep us warm.
No way, really?
And protect
Definitely.
us.
And
Tent.
nobody can really get in. Except who I say can get in.
Well, that's certainly helpful.
Will we all fit?
Ooh, there's a lot of us.
Yes.
It's
9,
It
yes.
can fit 9 creatures.
all of Critical Role can fit.
Well, we also have 4
You got a lot of
NPCs.
follow-ons right now. You have 3.
Yes, we can
1, 2,
all.
3.
3. 4.
We can ritual.
No,
use
3.
this.
No,
Oh, yeah,
4.
I can.
We have 4
Yeah.
NPCs.
4 children.
We got Diashan,
Oh, God.
Tilgen,
Yep, you're
I
right.
forgot about
Torrent, and
children.
Kristen. I
It's
actually did too.
very
I would
You
have.
said 4.
cozy
but
in
I'm
there.
saying 3.
Is there something
It
that's
is.
special that I have to do as a cleric to ritual cast, or just say I ritual cast it and it takes longer?
You just ritual cast
Nope.
it.
Okay.
Takes 10 minutes instead of 1
One
energy.
Yeah.
It's basically just setting up the arcane sigils on the ground is
Yeah.
how I always interpreted it, or whatever comes along with it. So that
Yeah.
instead of casting it in a flash, you're doing kind of the slow version of the
Yeah.
spell.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna pull a critical roll, and we'll do it up as sort of against a wall, so a part of it can blend into the wall and blend into the
Sure.
snow and be all hidden and shit.
Cool.
Sure.
That's helpful. Does it look like?
And it stays warm, right?
Yeah, it stays warm.
So
controlled.
it just kind of like out of thin air starts to like build itself.
Like
what is
kind of
it?
like ooh, like because it's a dome. It kind of starts to show up, like sort of sprinkle down into a dome
Ooh.
onto the ground with all the colors putting themselves in place, matching the area around it. And we can come in and out as we need to, but nobody who
Not you.
I can't. I gotta stay in, but you guys can come in and out as you need to.
That's a lot more than just a tent.
It's
It's kind
certainly.
of fun. I like it.
Bryn,
Oh,
I've
much
read
more
about
helpful.
this. I've read about this magic before. This is really impressive. Good job.
I thought it would be helpful.
It is. I was planning on possibly learning the components of this spell, but I'm glad you have it instead.
I think it's something that just being connected with the moon and the stars
Night.
helps with.
darkness.
I'm Batman. Helps with the shit. Helps.
Helps
the
with the shit.
shadows help
Oh my gosh.
hide us and keep us safe. And
Does it have a potty?
no, you still need to go outside.
There's a
please.
little corner of it.
It's
The
like,
privacy corner.
isn't it like 10 foot by 10 foot?
There's some
Yeah,
10 foot
10 foot
circle, yeah.
radius.
I was
still.
gonna say
It's
no.
like-
We wouldn't
like
be
a
going to the
litter.
bathroom in privacy.
I was thinking that too.
Your
It's like a
box.
kitty litter.
in the corner. Sorry.
Gross.
No, you're fine.
Ugh.
I could turn the lights on and
Smells.
off inside. It's
I was apologizing to Cassie for that image of Winry. She doesn't need that.
I didn't make that connection. But yeah, you spend the night in pretty similar comfort, to be fair, to the previous night.
Except warmer. I mean, people who
Yeah.
are keeping watch are warmer.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very nice place for you guys to be able to hole up each night, as you're able to kind of nestle it in.
Perfect.
In theory, I will probably make you roll something, just so you know.
Okay.
in order for other people to not detect it if they are searching for it, especially as you're trying to
So,
blend
like-
it in, this sort of thing.
Oh, like me roll a stealth roll for the hut.
Yeah, or a survival check would probably be more what I was thinking,
Okay.
in order to try to
I'm okay
blend
with
it
that.
into the nature side as much as you can. In this
I gotta
case,
figure out a way to make it animal handling.
No, the
in this
survival
case,
wisdom.
no one's really looking for it. No one's looking for you guys. You're off the beaten path. You really just don't run into anyone at this point in time that's really
Just like-
searching for it.
So we'll
and
know if someone's looking for us if you ask for a survival check.
You'll probably know beforehand, or if you're
Wow.
set up in kind of a more populated area, then you will likely have to do so as well if
Someone
you're
runs
trying to stay
into
hidden.
it.
I mean, it's like a
Crossroads.
brick wall, so it'd be more that they're just like,
Off
what
the
the hell
beaten
is that thing
path
over
and-
there?
Yeah, like
Crossroads and like a carriage runs into it.
it's off the beaten path, so hopefully no one would be running
But-
into it.
You spend the night pretty comfortably and continue to make your way down through this frigid mountain pass. The next day dawns once more, and again I will have you all roll a survival check as you
Make
continue
sure-
along on your path.
Make sure everyone is doing long rests on your character sheet because you can get your
Oh, that's right.
hit.
That
That
Nice.
should be the
die
last
back.
one that you need to. 2 should be enough. All right. Jack, survival check.
Oh no.
8.
Bryn.
Ooh, 21.
Very nice. Myetharia.
A total. I rolled a
20 total?
19.
Very nice. Rayland.
14.
Nice. And Winry.
10.
Okay. They bounce back 73 performance from you guys from the 49 from last time.
Nice.
You're able to
4 too high, but
figure out the rest of the path there without losing any more time, and you make it towards the end of the mountain pass by that point, by the roughly the end of the day. And just as the sun is starting to set behind the mountains, you come towards the end of the pass.
I want to say really quick while we're traveling, I keep thinking like, oh, this would be a really good time for a song, and like gonna grab my banjo, but then I remember that Rayland got after me that one time, and I'm like, maybe I won't.
Oh.
Also, Justin, I want to say because
No, not in a bad way, but in like a I'm learning
but-
way.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, in a good way, but also, he's feeling uninspired to play music, which is, I agree, it's a good thing that we're being more stealthy, but
No, he's definitely wants it. His fingers are itching for it, especially that hurt one that he stabbed last night. Or 2 nights ago.
I was gonna say because Rob said each night that we're sort of resting, I'll take a little bit of time to sort of go through my healing stuff, like trying different ways of putting things together, trying different raps, things like that, to be honing my skill.
let you experiment on me if you need to.
How things rap and
I don't like
Sure.
how you phrase that.
We could play another.
Gosh dang
We
it,
could play
Rob,
another
you were the
game
one
of,
who made that bad, not me.
I was just gonna say I can hurt myself.
We could play another game of.
No.
You wanna?
That'll get Bryn a lot of practice.
That's
You
true.
wanna?
I'm good, thanks.
with
Okay.
intent of working towards my feet.
Sure. I'll get to that here after a little bit, but
Yep.
thank you for the lead in.
That was good.
As you come towards
Get
the
off
end
me.
of the pass, it's still winter on the other side, but it is definitely a less aggressive winter that greets you. A valley opens up in front of you. Oh wow, I was going to say that I didn't even need to. Although winter's grip is still strong, a river carves a small running stream through sheets of ice that extend from its normal banks. A few fishermen can be seen about a mile in the distance, with a squad of armed men nearby. And beyond that, a copse of trees obscures the main walls of a town. Smoke rises from chimneys, and you occasionally hear a hint of habitation. The ring of steel on an anvil, a muffled shout, and even the whicker of horses. That was supposed to be shout, not sout. As you come closer, the armed men notice your arrival, and 2 of them mount a pair of horses and ride towards you. Armed with crossbows and swords, they stop at about 100 feet away, with bolts pointed down towards you. The other soldiers are approaching on foot in the distance, and with half a smile, one of the horsemen speaks. What brings you to Lord Rego's lands? Speak quickly, for we are meager on time and temper.
Lord what?
Rego. R-E-G-O.
Jack, do you want to take this?
I'll nudge Jack.
Always itching to deal with
Or
these
even
sort
just
of
say,
folks.
Bryn will just pipe in just because I'm nervous. We're just passing through.
Travelers, mostly. I am a traveling storyteller, and this is my troupe. They make sure I don't die, which almost happens sometimes. But it's wonderful to meet you. Very warm greetings. My name is Jack. What is yours? Oh, who'd we lose?
Becca.
Myetharia. Yeah, Becca dropped off. Give me just a second for her.
I'm back, sorry. I clicked the wrong. I'm good.
I just wanted to make sure you were back before saying anything. It says, Fine. I'm Captain Keenroar.
Keenroar?
Keenroar. Kinroar.
Gotcha.
What's your business here? Where'd you come from?
Oh, How well do I?
You're not
how
going
well
to
do I-
believe this story.
No, I'm wondering how well, if Justin's going to rely on me to need to know the map, or if Jack would be able to come up off the top of his head with a place other than Gate Pass that we could come from. Oh, I know. We're traveling from Shahalesti, specifically Kalanis.
I'm gonna make you make a deception check.
All right. Hey, nice. 20.
Okay. Kind of gives you an eye over and says, Shahalesti. I guess you both look it, but the others don't. Well, either way, how'd you make it through?
Make it
Pass
through.
has been unusable ever since the forest.
The forest?
listen.
I'm sorry. There was a forest, but
Forest fire.
we passed through a forest that seemed like it maybe had recently suffered a fire, but it wasn't on fire. And you're right, the pass was rather precarious, but nothing that a few carts passing through wouldn't clear up. Was there a fire in the forest recently?
Has been for 40 years, lad. That's what's made Cornerwood drift off into the corner of the world, unfortunately.
How did a forest stay burning? I won't take any of your time. Yeah, well, it's different now. I'm not sure what changed, but it sure has, I guess.
We'll have to scout. Intriguing.
I would take care if you're going to scout back towards the forest. We saw an outcropping of tents, and we thought maybe there might be some ne'er-do-wells there, so watch your back.
Hobgoblins are back in the pass, I bet. Maybe we'll have to clear them out again.
Well, you seem
No.
quite stout of arm. I'm sure you can take care of those ruffians.
Yeah, either way. Thank you for the politeness. I guess we are just curious about what happened. As I said, that forest has been burning for 40 years. It's really put a damper on things around here. Regardless, this is Cornerwood. Welcome you here in Lord Rego's lands within Dassin.
Oh, we've reached Dassin, have we?
Have. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I can
That's
take
good
you
to
into the town. I'm sure it's late. I'm sure you're looking for a place to stay.
That would be wonderful.
That would be
Good.
much appreciated, Captain Kinroar.
he kind of breaks away from the rest of his patrol, letting them finish up what they were up to, and will bring you in towards the rest of the town. The town is kind of nestled.
Daishan is like walking pretty normally now after another night of rest.
He's still slow. He'll still be slow for the next few days, but he is definitely more apt than he was. I think. Exhaustion. Need to look it up. Sure. I feel like it's 3 levels is still slow. 2 levels is slow. So yeah, he'll still be slow for another day or 2. But 2 days. But either way, he just, he's slower than everybody else a little bit, but he's not like absurdly bad off anymore at this point. You can clearly see that he was burned in the recent past, things like this. But people get burned, So just something that people have to live through, it turns out. Either way, you make it in towards the town. It's kind of nestled between a river and a forest. And as you make it in towards the town and kind of have a look around as he's showing you around, it looks like the town used to be prosperous because it used to be sitting on a trade route between Dassin and Gate Pass. Unfortunately, that trade route for the last 40 years has not happened. And so the 500 or so, he's talking to you, the 500 or so inhabitants here are not as well off as they used to be, I guess would be the best way to phrase it. And even as you're walking through town, you can kind of see it in people's scowls and in their disposition. There's a little bit of, cursing over mundane things that maybe wouldn't have come up in more prosperous, nicer towns, this sort of thing. You see people wearing really nice clothes, like silks like this, but the silks are well disused at this point. They are frayed and not nice. They're very dirty. Like people who were used to finer things in life and no longer are getting them. As he brings you through town, though, he will bring you towards what he phrases, at least, as, well, it's the best inn in the city. That's no doubt about that. It's called the Palatial. Well, it's a great place. As you make it there, it looks to be a sad, barely adequate husk of a once large great inn. It looks kind of like a run-down opera house in a way. Like the place just kind of looks like it used to be spectacular, but 40 years of not much use has taken its toll on its actual quality nowadays. Regardless of that, it is well appointed, and in theory, with a lot of effort and a lot of restoration, it could be a beautiful place.
Captain, before you go, I was wondering if you perhaps had some sort of swordsmith in town that could perhaps create something of this sort of quality, and I'll show him just one of my swords. Anything up to par with this? If not, that's all right. I just thought I'd...
They might have things in town, certainly. I know they've been hard up recently, so I would hit up the markets. I'm sure that there's craftsmen around. Right. I really did not make up a name for a blacksmith off the top of my head, but I definitely could. But the iron and anvil sure will serve you well.
All right, thank you.
It's
true, just
The iron and anvil?
Or he's a blacksmith. Why has it got to be the iron and anvil? Get off his back. Maybe he makes teacups.
I said swordsmith. I said swordsmith, so I mean, I hope he's going to direct me to somebody.
Can you make this sword? I only make teacups.
I'm a potter, sir.
What
is it?
It's odd.
Sir, this is
very heavy teapots.
Sorry for putting that on you, Justin. I did technically say I look for one in sequin, so I mean, I guess I didn't know
we'd
be coming to another city.
Writing a number of names of various things all over the place.
So 2 on the nose.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I had to give you some practice then.
Well, as you're invited into the inn, and you can do with the rest of the evening as you would so choose within an actual town for the first time.
How many people are in the inn?
When you make it inside, there's probably 2 people who look like they are actually in the inn, so to speak, and then there's a handful, maybe 5 or 6 people who look to be townsfolk who are more there for the drinking.
I'll pull Orion. Change the music.
Yes, feels like a dangerous town.
This is just intrigue music. I don't have a lot of choices, but
Yeah, sorry, I don't have any music for like town
Quaint
music.
towns.
I guess.
I can change to the
consider
other
it.
suspense theory. Here, hold on.
I'll
I've got some
consider.
random stuff.
I'll consider getting some stuff that's like town music. I guess I don't know.
Let's see what this is.
So
What are yourself doing?
while you guys are figuring out music, I would like to. I asked Tilgen to join me. I say, Tilgen, do you have any instruments that you know how to play?
I mean, some. Yeah, I have a pipes and a flute that I've used before in the past.
I cuts the pipes. Good.
I
All
was
right.
going to talk with you about that. Actually, I was hoping to do some learning. I'm sick that we both have things we can learn.
Sorry.
It's dirty tonight.
She gonna teach you a new instrument.
Pipes?
Yikes.
Gross.
Too far off the
I'll say, yeah, great. Let's see. I'll kind of talk with her for a minute and see if we can find a song that we both know that's kind of upbeat. I say, hey Winry, you wanna come? Actually, no. Hey Bryn, you wanna come? Can you come with us? Be kind of like backup.
No.
Oh. Hey Winry, you wanna come with us and be backup?
Back up for what?
Oh, you'll see.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna lead the 3 of us with Tilgen. Tilgen and I playing some kind of a jaunty tune. I'm playing it on my banjo. Just kind of like walking through the streets, just kind of like singing a nice tune. And anytime I get close to somebody, I'll say, I haven't thought of a sales pitch for this yet. Excuse me, but this place seems like it could use some music, and I'm going to be performing at the Palatial tonight. Please come out and see a good show.
If you'd like to hear more.
Yeah.
Jack, should
and
we talk to the innkeeper first?
No.
Okay. You know what you're doing. Okay.
They always need more business, and this putting on a show is a great way to do it. So I'm gonna spend like maybe the 3 of us will spend maybe like an hour going around and like getting people interested and excited, and then head back to the inn.
I thought you were gonna make me sing. That's why I said no.
No, I was not gonna make you sing. Although that sounds hilarious. So that's what I'm doing for an hour. Does anyone else want to step in?
I was gonna say, while they're doing that for an hour, I was just gonna go look for somebody who makes or sells swords. Nothing too well. The best that I can find. I was gonna say nothing too crazy. Go easy on you, Justin, but I also want good quality stuff.
I want good shit. Give me the good shit.
Sure. In terms of normal fare, you can definitely find a merchant who sells basically anything that is standard equipment, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I would just say if I found somebody, I would kind of take out my elven swords that I had made, and I'd show them to whoever is there and say, "Do you have anything like this, but perhaps a bit longer? Does a bit more damage, perhaps?" Of this, of this elven quality.
Skills.
Well, Don't know that I can necessarily put something up right here, right now, but if we have stuff that's available, feel free to check the racks.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and I'll peruse. If there's anything, you kind of know what I'm looking for. If there's anything that catches my eye.
So they. I don't want to say too much.
Not
here.
that's fine. I'm just checking.
So you can purchase anything that is standard adventuring gear at standard adventuring gear prices. There is not going to be anything that is magical in nature or outside of the traditional bonds, so to speak, of what is standard equipment. There isn't that sort of market here, and there also isn't that sort of ingenuity happening.
All right. Sounds good. And he said he wouldn't be able to make anything within a short period of time.
Not quickly. Nothing that's going to be of that
quality.
Your swords are a little bit more adventurous than the standard adventurers fare typically, and so it's you might be able to pull something out, but largely it's going to be what is there already.
That's all right. Well, thank you for your time. I didn't think I'd find anything I didn't think I'd find what I was looking for, but I appreciate your letting me peruse your items, and I'll take off back to the tavern.
Of course.
As we've been traveling along, I have been collecting bolt-sized pieces of wood, stuff that looks sturdy, and carving them as we go along. So we can figure out, Justin, later what, how many I've been able to make along the way. But I would like to go with her to the blacksmith, and I'll ask for just for steel tips. Points.
Sure.
Iron if you got it.
That they have in abundance. You can definitely pick those up.
Right.
If you're able to provide the bolt shafts, so to speak, the tips you can buy for, we'll say 4 to 1, so to speak. In terms of price.
4
so
to 1.
For one, the cost of one bolt, you can get 4 tips. Does that kind of make sense?
That does make sense. Okay, we'll do some math later. I don't want to do it while everybody's captive here, but
sure.
Yeah. So he'll be somewhere hammering tips into his newly crafted bolts.
I will say, Ryan, that if you went with Myetharia, you'd see that who she is sort of out on the town is
Out on the town at night.
Out on the town is a little more, charismatic, polite, very. I don't want to say happier, but just a little more charismatic than she is with the group. And I didn't say this earlier, but I suppose that the rest of you would have noticed that after the first night of sleep outside of the forest, she would have been a lot more. Lighter of burden, I suppose, than she had been. Yes, lighter of disposition, a bit more cheerful than she had been these past couple days while in the forest. Thought I'd throw that in there.
The other thing that you would notice is when Myetharia left, the blacksmith would have scowled to himself as she left. Said like, "Damn,
no,
lost it again."
I feel so bad. I feel so bad. She's looking for something.
certain bitterness, and Jack, you kind of pick up on it when you're going through town as well. There's a little bit of a bitterness in just about every conversation that you come to. There's a little bit of a wish I could have, and wish I would have, and if only things had been better. That's going on throughout just about every conversation that you get throughout the town.
I will say that she did try to be as polite as possible with that whole.
It was more of like
exchange. Yeah.
Damn, I missed out.
No, I figure. Okay.
Can we? Never mind. I'm just gonna have to remember. I was gonna ask to retcon something, but no.
I wanted to make a joke earlier, essentially that Rayland would never have noticed that there was really any difference between the
Oh, so dense.
He probably also doesn't care.
Yeah.
Well, when you make it back then to the palatial, you can do anything that you'd like to in the evening, as you do. But you are greeted by the innkeeper, a kind of older, larger woman named Suna, as she greets you into the room.
What can you describe her again?
She is a kind of older, larger woman.
Big
What's her name?
Sue. Big Sue.
Big Sue. Suna.
Big Sue.
Sue.
Yeah, she has a nice little wart coming off the side of her cheek.
Oh, poor Sue.
Sunny Suna.
Sunny Sue.
Is she human?
She is. It is nice to have new faces once more. To what do we owe the pleasure?
Just passing through on our way to Sequin.
As you say that, she kind of gives like a look back of, really? Well, place caters to all likes. Welcome to have you.
What's so terrible about Sequin? In your opinion, I suppose.
Pain in the neck, I guess. Yeah, that neck the woods.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What?
Yeah. Like Greg always says, they've always got something going on.
Oh, can you extrapolate on that? I'm curious.
Always a pain. Now suddenly it's refugees everywhere. Everybody got to go to Sequin.
Oh, yeah. That is a pain. Understandably, seeing the town as it is, it's understandable.
Cornerwood will stay. Survive as we've always done.
I suppose now that the forest is no longer on fire, perhaps you guys will have more business through here.
That she does perk up to a little bit. Oh.
I'll just drop it casually, very, very casually.
Aye. You know, maybe we need to do some decorating.
Oh. Yeah.
You've only been in town for like 30 minutes.
No. She is totally playing this off. She knows full well where it hasn't gotten around. She's just playing this up.
Huh. Well, maybe we'll have to do some decorating. Maybe there'll be a trips again. Oh, be nice to see this place come alive once more.
It does look like it was quite a beautiful place in its day.
Well, rooms be 5 silver. Comes with dinner and breakfast.
Thank you kindly. Certainly be taking you up on that.
How many are we providing? We have plenty of rooms to spare.
We have 9, I believe. 9, yes.
Everyone with their own room?
No, I believe we have a younger member with us. How many rooms do you have with multiple beds?
Oh, they all can come with 2 beds at least. You might be able to cram a third in if you tried real hard, but
We could all double up or something.
Yes, that's fine. Then half the amount, I suppose, just say 5 rooms.
Just do like boys and girls.
Did you want to just do 2 rooms?
Well, that was a joke because there's 9 of us and only 2 of us are guys.
3,
We do.
Daishan.
You want to fit 7. Oh, I forgot about
Daishan.
Daishan.
Gosh.
Those 4 NPCs that are trailing along.
Yeah.
you're welcome. Well, they will pay for
5 rooms.
themselves.
Okay.
Torrent will pay for her own room. Tilgen doesn't really have much money.
I'll take care of the group and children this time. I don't mind.
Well, if you're paying for, we'll do
That's
4
1, 2,
rooms.
3,
Torrent will pay for
4.
herself.
Oh,
It'd be 2 gold for the lot.
That's no problem.
And as she says, comes with dinner and breakfast, so we got the dinner on right now. So I hope you're
Excellent.
hungry.
Oh, yes. Been traveling all day. Thank you very much.
As she
Well,
starts
everybody
to
was. Oh, go ahead.
What are they serving?
As she starts to serve everybody some buckwheat bread, a whey cheese, and some fresh chicken. While it is not ideal fare or anything like this, it's passable and it's of reasonable quality at least.
While everybody was out doing things, Bryn stayed at the inn, just happy to have a table to sit at again, and began writing in what looked like a journal. That's all.
Delicious chicken.
Oh,
It's always
As
nice
you
to have
kind of-
food that you don't cook yourself.
it's true. As you're kind of hanging out, the innkeeper will kind of hang around you periodically, coming to get you refills, anything like this, some mugs of mead, something of this nature. And as she does stop by, just kind of pick at your brain a little bit. Says, "So, what should we going to? I hear you're going to Sequin. Are you part of the refugees that are head that way?"
No. We're going to visit some friends at the Lyceum. Haven't been that way for a while.
Probably for the best.
Where are the refugees coming from?
All over. But mostly from Regesia, from what I've heard.
Well,
What?
war's on the horizon, so I'm not entirely surprised.
There's words of a scourge coming down. And, well, everybody got a place to go. Everybody got to go to Sequin.
Not here. So you're saying?
Not enough. But
Sorry
it is
to
what
hear
it
that.
is. We're a little close ourselves. Fortunately, we got the mountains. Well, nobody's coming through there. Not anytime soon.
Oh.
Well, from the direction we came, it seemed like Regesia was on the offensive. Why are refugees leaving Regesia?
Not everybody. Probably within with the thinking there, yeah?
Hmm.
Sounds like the
Everybody
scourge
likes
has
where they
been
live.
affecting their own peoples as well as the others. At least we got
Civil War.
got a bunch of mages coming through. Seemed like, at least.
Oh?
Well, they're going to Sequin. Going to Lyceum,
Ah, I see.
Looking for safety, It is what
They
it
say
is.
that.
Here and there, maybe not so quite so explicitly.
I see.
Well, regardless, we don't have much left. But if you wanted, you could ask around for some horses.
Oh. Do you have a
Up to you, I
certain
don't-
place you would point us to for that?
Well, there's only one farrier in town.
Alright.
We're looking to him. Sure that old Enoch will be looking for some business.
Big knock. Alright, well, that's good to know. We do have quite a group here, and our legs have been rather sore over these past couple days.
Do you? I know.
So
Money's tight everywhere,
I'm sure he
Damn
can
the
use
world and
whatever.
all.
Yes. It would be worth looking into, though, Harvard, so I mean, whether we can afford it or not. So, I thank you for pointing us in that direction.
Kind of nudges Jack afterwards. Says, "So, you do more with those fingers than just eat the foods, yeah?"
Am I there?
I was
under
just
the
Ryan-
impression the three of
Ryan-
us
I was
were
just
still
assuming by
out.
this point people were coming back.
Sue.
Watch your
Girl.
I noticed you got a
Uh,
banjo on your back, yeah?
Well, as soon as I get
Oh.
You're the least
as soon as
Sue.
I want like this headcanon
she's-
of Ryan actually is. It's not Ryan, but it's actually Rayland, just like with his meter sling, just looks up concerned, and then she says banjo. He's like, oh.
Makes sense.
well, actually, when we get back, I would like to be playing a little bit of music, and I'll go up to, I guess, the table where everyone's sitting, and I'll say, I guess she has an innkeeper look to her, and I'll say, Madam Innkeeper, I did not ask permission before, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind some extra business. I intend to perform here in a little bit, once a little bit of a crowd gathers, if that would be all right with you.
Always looking for good business, yeah?
Beautiful. Yeah, and then I'll actually go and stand out front of the inn and like play music as loudly as I can. I'll actually use my diviner and play. So I'll be playing banjo, and then I'll do minor illusion to be playing like percussion. So I've got like a
little ensemble going, one man.
Got a
band.
little ensemble going just by myself, and then I'll have Tilgen play her flutes as well, and try to like bring people in. But before I do that, I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on myself, and give myself Eagle's Splendor. So I'm gonna pull out the rock feather and use it for casting the spell on myself.
It is a giant eagle. It had the statistics of a rock, but it was a giant eagle.
Right. But I still picture Marahute from Rescuers Down Under, so I want to picture as a golden feather.
I see. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Don't mess with my headcanon. All right, I want to go ahead.
Go ahead and make a performance check. Charisma performance.
Oh no. Oh, that's too bad. 10 total.
Even
I rolled
with
a
Tilgen.
I rolled a 4
who's giving
and
you a
a
little
2.
bit of a benefit there. You're a little rusty these days, and
guess.
so
It's that finger injury.
A reasonable performance, yeah, right. It's slowing you down a little bit. It's keeping you a little out of tune. Regardless, this is not a place that's particularly known for romping, aggressive music or anything like this. So you are just about the only show in town, so to speak. And so you do still draw a moderate crowd nonetheless. But it is probably a little bit less enthusiastic than you might have been hoping for.
I can work
Regardless, you still fill the place up a little bit more. Like I said, it is a cavernous place. It looks like it could house hundreds of people, like hundreds of rooms. It's like a hotel.
Yeah, you said it was like an opera house, right?
Like in style, like that's what it feels like when you get inside. Like the common room is like 50 by 100 feet, just like a huge place, and it's empty. But at least now, with a little bit of cajoling, you're able to filter in somewhere between 30 and 50 people into the room in order to get a little bit more of a crowd going.
I love it.
While Jack plays, sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna start my performance in a minute, so if there's something you want to do first, go for it.
I just want to look around at the people for interesting things they might be wearing or holding, or just anything that's out of the ordinary.
Sure, make a perception check.
That's what she's doing.
That's what she's doing.
Out of these
Forgot
poor
about this.
people that
Are you trying?
hard on luck.
We've been stuck traveling for
Cassie
so long.
can't
I forgot that this was a
Critical Role
trait.
No. Cassie can't watch campaign 3. She's gonna turn into Fern.
Natural 20.
She is, isn't she? Oh, my
no!
24 perception.
You're gonna be harsh on my crowd.
This is gonna look real bad. Please come watch our show so that we can rob you.
Justin's face was like, "Oh shit, she rolled really well. What's there?"
So not in terms of something that's super spectacular or anything like this, but you do see some people do bring along what looked like I don't want to call them quite relics, but like older things that used to be nice. So every now and then you'll see someone flick open a surprisingly shiny like pocket watch, for instance, that seems to be out of place with the rest of their outfit. Their outfit very run down, very ramshackle. Used to be nice and a long time ago, but the pocket watch itself has been kept up and kept like buffed consistently, kept in good shape outside of that. Maybe on another person, you'll notice that they brought their own silverware or something like this, where they have actual silverware that they've brought in. as opposed to the tin that gets used in an inn kind of thing. So every now and then you'll see the glint and the shine of something that looks real, looks valuable, outside of the standard fare that you might see for the rest of the kind of down on their luck, a little bit more depressing town.
So just things that are more expensive than
Little
the
hints.
rest of them.
Yeah, little
Not
hints.
like unique and interesting things.
Sure, yeah, little hints, little vestiges of what the town used to be, so to speak, as opposed to what it is now.
Then I will just ignore that and enjoy Jack's show.
Yeah, close one. Okay. So I'll kind of go over to the table with where all my friends are sitting, and I'll say, "All right, wish me luck."
Did you already
Good
do
luck.
a performance roll?
Good luck, Jack!
Thanks.
I'll let it make
So,
one more.
well, I assume what I was trying to do was draw people in before the
Yep.
show, like busking for the show, and then now is gonna be the show. So I'm gonna I'll go up to Tilgen and I'll say, if you want to join in, feel free. I'm very free flow, so just
I think I'll stay in the crowd and I'll try to just really jump in when it needs to.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Actually, can you work the right side of the room?
Sure.
I've got a
Anything
plan.
you need.
I've got a plan for the left side. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I'm gonna go up on stage and I'm gonna start playing, and I'm essentially gonna open up with whatever this region's version of Sweet Caroline would be. Just a really simple one that everyone gets their toes tapping. That even if you hate it, you still know it, and so you still begrudgingly sing it, just to kind of warm everybody up. And so I'm playing the banjo, and then at the same time, I'll occasionally pull the diviner up and use it to do minor illusion. So Tilgen's working the right side of the room, kind of playing her music. I'm gonna essentially have my banjo music through minor illusion be playing on the left side. So there's a surround sound sort of a thing. So it fills the room. So yeah, I play Sweet Caroline. Then after that's done, I am going to kind of nod to Tilgen to kind of have her chill out a little bit. And I clear my throat and I'm just kind of playing something really quietly. And I say out loud in a very ordered way. Life is a dream that has found its form. I sing these dreams that they might be born. And I dive into a story. I dive into a story of a down on its luck town, on its last dregs, until a fortunate son of the town finds a gold mine, and it changes the fortunes of the people's lives in the town. They know nothing but riches for the rest of their years. And I'd say it's a 20-minute song or a 20-minute story. And then after that, I'm going to play. I always the Wagon Wheel. You guys know that song? Rock me, mama, like a wagon. That's what I'm going to close with. And I'm hoping that more people are going to be involved and join in and be a little bit more exuberant.
All right. Well, you set the bar high for yourself.
I'd say the whole thing takes an hour. And I'm going for broke. Even if it's bad, I'm going for broke.
Go ahead and make a performance check.
I'm going to switch. Can I use... No, I'm not going to use yours. That's stupid. Nah, it's been rolling bad all night. It's got to owe me one.
Oh, don't say that.
That's how dice work.
That's yeah.
So the first one was a natural 1. Switching to the red die. Hey, there we go. 21.
Hey.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get them going, but eventually the town gets into a good form. And throughout the performance, Suna will be slowly kind of setting up a nice mug of cider on the side for you. And after every couple of songs, she fills it up and tops it up for you with a little smile and a nod and a happy look on her face. And, well,
I'm going to take also any opportunity to kind of like use... I'll cast Mage Hand, and Mage Hand will pick up like a large bowl, and I'll kind of pass it around the audience, because this is how I made my living in Gate Pass, so I'm not going to stop now. And then if people feel inclined, they may. Yeah. So I think I probably play for like hour and a half, 2 hours.
You wind up at the end with a solid 9 pieces of silver and 23 pieces of copper.
Spenders, these ones. But hopefully they all got drinks. I'll encourage them to buy drinks too.
They'll do their best. They're down a little bit on luck and this sort of thing, but they know a good time when they see it. And after a while, it starts to get a little bit more rowdy, starts to fill up a little bit more. Town starts to kind of fill out the room in order to make sure that, it's like a traveling show coming into town. It doesn't come by all that often, so you gotta make it pay when it does.
Shit, if people start coming in, I'll play for 4 or 5 hours. I'll just go at it as hard as I can.
Well,
yeah.
At the end of the night, with Suna wildly pleased with you guys, you retire back to your rooms whenever you'd like to, in various times of the night, having conversations that you may or may not want to elaborate on. And eventually, sleep will find you, and we will end tonight's session and pick up next time in the morning.